For those of you who don't want to watch 20-minute montages and you just want to know the good details of what it's like being post-op septoplasty, among a couple of other things I had, but mainly septoplasty, then this is the video for you. Today I'm 1 month post-op and I am so happy that I had the surgery. It took me, I think, between 2.5 to 3 weeks before I had a day where I woke up and I did my rinse and I went, wow, I feel better than I did before my surgery. I was worried for a little while after my operation. When I got my stents out at 1 week post-op, I felt a bit paranoid that maybe the surgery didn't work. Having watched a lot of videos online of people who could breathe really well immediately, and then I kept seeing things about empty nose syndrome, and to get the stents out and to not be able to breathe properly at first, my nose was incredibly blocked. And then when it started to clear a bit and I could breathe a tiny bit, I actually at the time couldn't really feel the air go up my nose, so I was like, oh shit. I was getting a bit worried, but you gotta give yourself time to heal. Maybe you'll be really lucky and the surgery will feel like a walk in the park and you'll be breathing within a few days better than you ever have, but you might need to take longer. My nose is still healing. When you look up inside of it, I still have scabby bits. I still have blood coming out occasionally. Sometimes my nose will like a bit will open up and it'll start bleeding. I've still got heaps of mucus. To be fair, I am sick right now, but even before I got sick, I still had plenty of mucus coming out. So if you feel like this is something that you're interested in, then based on my experience, I would say definitely get more information and inquire about it with a doctor. I knew that my breathing wasn't the best before my surgery, and if you watch my septoplasty pre-op video, you'll see me talk more about that. But now that I have a comparison, and I assume this is what it's like for your average person to breathe, I just had no idea how bad my breathing was. So much has just improved based on this, and I'm still getting used to breathing with my nose. I still kind of forget that I can I can breathe with my nose sometimes. Like during the day, I'll realize, oh, I've reverted back to mouth breathing. Especially if I'm doing something that requires some form of intensity, like taking my dogs for a walk. I'll automatically just start breathing with my mouth because that's what I'm used to. But I can breathe with my nose. I'm sick right now and I can breathe with my nose. I'd never done that in my life. I didn't actually know that was a possibility. Even, I mean, these are things that I don't particularly, some of these things, to clarify, are things that I don't care heaps about, but I welcome them. I didn't really have expectations about these things, but my sense of taste has improved, my sense of smell has improved, my hearing has improved, things are less muffled. I haven't really been out to loud, crowded places yet. I think it'll still be hard for me to hear in those places due to another condition I have also factoring in. Like being sick too right now, I mean, I feel great. I, I had a couple of days there where I felt mostly healed and I felt really good. And then I got sick and I don't feel that great because I have a cold, but I feel so much better than if I had have had this same cold but I hadn't had surgery yet. I would have felt like my head was just huge. It would have felt like everything in my nose, everything in my face here, all the way up until my ears, it would have felt full, like my head was just massive. My nose would be blocked and it would be running at the same time. I'd be constantly blowing it, but I'd be doing it really forcefully. Not much would come out except the little bits of boogers that just want to trickle out slowly. my nose would be red and sore and hurting and probably bleeding. I'd get cuts all the time in and around my nose because of how much I'd be wiping it. I've been blowing it so much less. My throat would be so much more sore. I'd be coughing up so much more phlegm because my nose was so blocked. The snot couldn't come out, so it just dripped down the back of my throat. Within a few days, I'd be coughing up lots of phlegm. Sometimes it'd get so bad I'd cough up blood. But it's just so much easier to deal with a cold when your head's not the size of Jimmy Neutron's. And sure, the other symptoms still suck, but it is such a relief when the breathing aspect and the nose aspect is so much better. So I'm just going to leave this video here. I'm so happy, and I feel like it can only get better because it's still scabs and shit that have to heal a bit. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.